field. When I first got into the National Football League, I thought it was just run fast, catch ball, hit guy, make plays. I thought it was that simple. It's not. It's not. What I tell a lot of young kids who always say, oh, I hate school, I hate school. I'm like, well, if you want to be a pro athlete, especially football, we're probably only on a football field for an hour and a half max a day. The rest of that time, we're in the classroom. We're trying to figure out what the opponent is doing. We're trying to master what we're asked to do. And so to think that a player and a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and a quarterback at that doesn't like that part of the game, what makes Tom Brady great and Aaron Rodgers and all these other guys great is not simply that they can throw the football, is that they can anticipate some of the things that's going to happen to them on a football field. I heard Uncle Shay talk about Michael Vick, and Michael Vick, when we played together in Atlanta, he was probably one of the most gifted natural athletes that ever stepped on the field. That was 19 years ago.
Yeah.
And so the game has changed and evolved a lot. And he could get away with that back then where it was just, hey, a lot of run games, a little bit of option passing game, and just very simplified passing down the field threats. Now it's 4 or 5 wides. And so I need my quarterback to understand exactly what's happening to him, exactly what their defense is doing, what they're anticipating, what they like to do. Because all you can do is hope to try to get some of the answers to the test when you're on that football field.
Correct.
In preparation, that's what you're doing. You're studying, trying to get the answers to the test. And that test is when that blitz comes, can you audible? Can you make the plays? Can you see some of the other little nuances in the game? And so, if this report is true, I would just urge Kyler to reevaluate that part of it. Because if you want to be successful in the National Football League, you have to be a student of the game. You don't even have to be a great athlete or a great thrower of the football. But if you are a student of the game, they will find a place for you on the football field.
Wow. Skip, it's almost like when you study, it's like it's like you steal the test, steal the entire test. Okay, the instructor realizes this test has been stolen. Now, the answer was A on the original test, but he switches it and makes it C. Well, if you didn't know that, because that's what you do in football when you study tape. You hope they give you something, Skip, but they're not gonna deviate that much. You can't. You don't have enough practice time to revamp your entire defense. To say what we've been doing the last 4 weeks, what we've been doing the last 10 weeks. We're gonna go totally away from that. Instead of being a cover 1 team, we're gonna be all cover 2. We're gonna be all cover 6 kick, which is 2 deep man, 2 deep with a bracket on the outside. Okay, no. I just skip, but the thing is for that position, film is of the utmost importance. You don't even because I believe the quarterback is the least talented position of all the positions. Because most of the quarterbacks, all they can do is play quarterback. Peyton Manning is not playing any other position in the NFL but quarterback. Tom Brady, just that. Drew Brees, just that.
Oh, but it's the hardest position to play in sports.
But it doesn't require talent. It's a mental.
It requires arm talent and foot talent in the pocket. It just does.
But what he's saying, can you put a 41-year-old at corner and say, hey, go out there and lock him up? Besides Darrell Green.
But Darrell,
this is an extraordinary 41 we're talking about.
But the fact of the matter is that it's there.
He's doing it with his head.
That's my point.
With his mind. He's sharpening his mind.
See, the thing is when you play a skill position and the speed starts to dissipate, well, you got to get up out of there. Well, Tom Brady doesn't rely on speed. He relies on this. So as long as that's sharp, he can continue to play.
Is accuracy a skill or a talent? Because I think it's a talent. I think it's a gift.
Both. I think it's both.
But Skip, you can be as accurate as you want to, but remember how they fool him sometimes because you don't realize that guy is there and he's there, but you thought he was going to be somewhere else. Well, if you don't know anything, if you don't like to study tape, you're not putting that 3-4 hours in a day, Skip, they're going to get you more times than not. Those guys, Tom Brady, he doesn't have the big double, the 15, the 17 INTs like some of the other guys. Aaron Rodgers, they avoid that because they know where you should be in this defense. Sometimes you can fool them. Sometimes a guy like Ed Reed made the greatest interception I've ever seen. Skip, he was playing single high safety.
I know this play.
He was playing against Peyton Manning. He starts one way.
I know the play, too.
And as soon as Peyton knows it, oh, he's going away. He takes off and runs and intercepts the ball. It's the greatest interception I've ever seen. Study film work.
Yeah.
Peyton's thinking, oh, he's finna go over here. I'll be able to either touchdown to Reggie Wayne. Ed Reed also knew that. Skip, I hope it's not true.
Yeah.
And if it is true, I hope someone can get in his ear and say, son, in order for you to maximize what you are, you're going to have, this is of the utmost importance.
I'm going to say this again. I find all of this offensive, and I think it falls into the category of classic quarterback pre-draft teardown.
Yeah.
And it could...
Skip, he's going to be #1. How they going to tear him down?
It could operate even more strongly because said quarterback is a black quarterback. But I'm not sure about that. I just have a deep feeling that could be operating a little more strongly here. But I'm going to say this again. Kyler's father was a very good college quarterback who started for 4 years, started as a true freshman at Texas A&M. Now he's an option quarterback for the most part, but he did throw it some. He was really good as a true freshman. He led the old Southwest Conference in total yards. And I think Kyler learned a lot from his father because I've been around his father. I covered his father. He's a smart guy. And listen, Cliff Kingsbury would not have clicked and bonded with Kyler when he was a junior in high school if Kyler wasn't able to, as Cliff says, talk ball, because their connection was about talking second and third level football. What was he seeing as a quarterback as a junior in high school, where they won 3 straight Texas high school football championships? What are you seeing? Because Cliff will tell you he spoke my language. Well, he can't speak your language. You know, again, is he the most diligent film student, or does he have some football genius about it? I'm going to go so far as genius because I watched every snap he took last year, and I really good offensive football coach in Lincoln Riley, great coordinator, and as you say, they stop down before the snap and they look over to see what Lincoln's going to recall, right? Okay, and that doesn't happen in pro football.
No.
I don't know why they don't try it some, but they just don't do it. That's not how the game is played, right?
Yes.
But the point is, Kyler still has to make a bunch of reads because they got 5 receivers out. And what I loved about him and what I did not see from Michael Vick when he was at Virginia Tech, your school, was Michael in college looked to run. He just did.
Yeah.
If he didn't see the first receiver wide open, he is gone, because he could overwhelm a college defense with his speed and athleticism, obviously. Kyler moved in college only to throw the football. His runs were called runs, quarterback draws. They would call runs for him because I think he's 4.2 40. I think he might be a touch faster than Michael Vick.
No way.
Wow.
Well, they said he was out of shape when he got there from Texas A&M in an offseason and ran 4.3 on the practice field, out of shape. That's what Lincoln Riley said the other day.
He ain't that fast.
Okay.
D-Hall, tell him he ain't that fast, D-Hall.
He doesn't look that fast. I mean,
Okay.
he looks
He doesn't
fast, Skip, but 4.2 is...
I know it's blazing. What did you run? I can't remember. It's 4.3.
4.31 at the
Okay,
time.
so you know what blazing is. You don't know what blazing
No.
I definitely have no idea what blazing is.
I mean, you weigh 270 pounds.
No, he went on 270.
No.
All I know is I got the longest touchdown. I got the longest touchdown for a tight end in NFL history. I do know that.
Skip, I'm with you, though, 100%. When you watch this kid play, these reports seem like just made up, because no one can have the kind of success he had and do some of the things he did on the football field and not actually understand what's going on.
John Marcus Russell did.
know- He didn't have this kind of impact. That LSU
You know what?
team was a
I
good
didn't like
team.
him. You can go back and check
but
the
he
tape.
wasn't
I didn't
that
like him.
great. Yeah,
He wasn't. He threw a lot of interceptions.
He was the Sugar Bowl MVP on the national championship winning team.
Go look at what happened when they played Florida and who was the other big game that year? LSU. He just threw
Alabama, you probably mean.
I think it was.
Because
I mean, he was at
He
LSU.
beat
I
up
mean,
on
who
LSU
was
a
the
couple
other one?
times right before he got there, and I thought that who was it? Matt Mock and one other quarterback.
Flynn.
Yeah.
Played a little bit better than Jamarcus, but Jamarcus checked all the boxes.
6'5",
Yeah,
250, rocket
and
arm.
to me, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to translate.
But he was an
into a
Al
better
Davis
quarterback.
deep thrower.
Yeah.
He wasn't a pick you apart. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't a reader, a speed reader.
But I don't care how talented Kyler Murray is. If he got bad study habits, Skip, it'll manifest itself.
All right, but I told you, he's the kind of kid who's been such a special athlete all the way up. When he steps on the field, he has aura about him. He's like a little warrior. He's a little man, but he plays big. He doesn't play small to me because he has a serenity around him. He has a supreme confidence that borders on arrogance, but he's not a trash talker. He's not a finger pointer. He's not a celebrator. He just, if he scores, he just hands the ball to the officials. So there's no hot dog going on here. He just thinks he's better than you are. And I believe mentally, he's operating on the highest level. I don't even know about film study. I'm sure he will do whatever is required of him.
No, but he'll never be successful. Because if you only do what's required, because those guys that just do what's required, no, you can't do that.
But I know his attitude going into those sessions with all those teams at the combine. He's like, what am I doing? What do I need this
There's
for?
a little bit of an arrogance.
I could definitely sense that. Anytime you have a guy who's a Heisman Trophy winner, who's a two-sport guy, who's about to make history and do some of the things that Kyler's doing, I could totally see, because heck, I was considered a nobody. I mean, I rose up the draft boards late, but I was considered a nobody. And when I went in meetings, it was times I was kind of like, this team's drafting 20th. Why am I?
Yeah, what am I doing?
Let me ask you a question.
Interesting.
Who cared about where you got drafted at once you got to the NFL? They need to see why you got drafted there. So they coming with it.
Yeah.
Because I needed to see all them Buckets and Outland Trophy winners and Thorpe Award winners. I need to see why you got that award. So I needed to see. They're going to see I need to see why Kyler Murray went #1 overall and won the Heisman Trophy. So you better bring your A game because they coming.
Oh, they're going to be coming. They're going to be coming for the simple fact of who he is, the position he plays.
I make my name out of him.
I mean, I remember when RG came in, we were having to almost fight people on the opposing teams taking shots at him.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Johnny Manziel, whole big thing to our sideline when we were playing, one of his first games playing, because guys were trying to go at him. When you're a mobile quarterback and you think you're faster than everyone else and you try to hang your hat on that, other guys on defense, they want you to understand, like, yeah, this ain't college. This ain't college. And we're going to show you this is not college.
Last quick point, the annual leaking of the Wonderlic test is now out there. So Kyler had a 20, which is not great. Mahomes had a 24, which wasn't great. Dan Marino had a 16, which really wasn't great. He did okay, right? I think he did okay.
They seem to be leaking. They be leaking these tests. I mean, they leak Vince Young. They be leaking a lot of these brothers' tests. I'm like, well, damn, are they the only one that's taking the test? I'm glad they leaked mine.
I do not.
They did not?
No, they leaked mine, Chris. I needed a crane to pull that thing up.
Have you done it?
No.
Did you take it?
I took it.
How,
You did?
was it hard?
I don't know what happened.
You aced it? It was so good that they didn't want to leak it because it'd blow the whole premise.
Look, 16 years ago, they was giving us the answers to the Wonderlic and was like having us practice it in classrooms.
Really?
Yeah, in your combine training. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you not pass it now?
Maybe he didn't study.
Well,
Maybe he didn't do it.
I didn't have the answers. Because if I'd have had the answers, I'd have got a 50.
Really?
Oh, I'm not going to
doesn't
cheat.
help
You
you
actually think I'm going to cheat to get a 90? If I cheat on the test, I'm getting a 100. If I'm going to run the risk of getting expelled, I'm getting a 100. I'm getting a 50.
But that would raise a red flag.
Exactly.
There's no way
you got 100 before.
You can raise whatever you want. You need to raise my grade stock.
They say go to MIT if you're getting 100.
You need
Move
to
on.
raise my grade
Just
stock.
glad we didn't have to take that test for this job because that would have been really stressful.
Oh, yeah, we had to take no test.
But why can't he become a good film studier? It doesn't. Maybe he just has been. He hasn't needed to in the past. Why can't he just figure it out?
It's hard to develop good habits once you get there.
It might be too late.
Yeah, because whatever you are, money just makes you more of what you already are.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can change, too. You know, that's why hope isn't lost. If this, especially knowing he hasn't played and focused 100% on football.
That is the best thing about it.
It's kind of what's always,
You got school, you got study hall, you got all this other stuff. Once you become a professional athlete,
that's all you have.
That's your job. Being a professional athlete. It ain't being a student. It ain't going to going to the cafeteria. You got study hall. It's 100% focus. And if he does that, for your sake, Skip.
Yeah, you know what I always say?
What?
I win every debate the night before.
Oh, that's what you
It's
say?
all about study.
All about preparation.
That's what you say?
No, I said
What will you go win? Huh? Well, you done flunked out of there. You done flunked off.
I'm not so sure. All right, good news. 1 day away, guys. Finally from the draft. At least we get to finally know where he's going to end.